think it's gonna take it for Kendall to come in there and wake her up. And it's gonna be on after that.
Hold on 1 second. Oh, we live. Oh man.
He picked 12 seconds into the stream to be like, hold on
All
1
that
second.
Yo, we don't get no music no more. Like we don't
Nah,
Ronnie just cut the music.
Terrence is getting on me about that.
Yo,
And we ain't been doing the music. So my bad, fellas.
we going backwards. Yeah.
Right.
Terrence said somebody cut the production budget.
Right. Clearly, yo. We find out our ratings down, yo. We can't get your oh man. Come on, I'm ready to blow again, yo.
Hold on 1 second.
Echo.
Yeah, find the stream joint. Man, y'all don't know what happened to Jose. He gonna come in last minute, looking to do his
since we on the
his what's the name joint. His
Man, I need some sleepers from Jose this week.
I know, right? All right, here we go. This the real kickoff.
Hey, Rodney, I'm about to come back in on my other computer.
Okay.
I'm the only one that hear echoes.
No, that was me when I had the other computer on. So that was on me. So I figured I remember I was having issues with like the joint freezing, so I started using the PC instead. But all the music joint is on the Mac.
Yeah. Gotcha. Man, let's see. All right, never mind. He's back. I ain't going. We only got so much time, so I ain't gonna sidetrack the podcast. With small talk this week.
Man, what you about to kick off? Man? You about to kick over Hornets Nest and start something?
Nah, me being a resident Cowboy fan, man, it's gonna fall on deaf ears. But I've been feeling this way even when I'm not watching Cowboy games. I just wanted y'all opinion on something. But it's gonna seem like I'm crying because I'm a Cowboys fan because now it just sparked on it.
Hey, man, we here for you.
Real quick, we're gonna spend 1 minute on this, yo. Mm-hmm. So I've heard about 6 years now. So they put the pass interference rules in, right, to try to make the game more exciting. But don't y'all feel like if somebody throw a bomb, right, like a real football fan, and someone catches it and they get a pass interference call at the 1, and they put the ball at the 1, and someone runs in for a touchdown. Why does that make the game more exciting? It makes it less exciting because it wasn't earned. Like it ain't like a play actually happened, right? So that was my first point. The second point, really quick, is I played corner. Right, and you was a receiver. I wish Jose was on here. Why do we reward, and this is every week in the NFL, for the ball being underthrown? How can a DB get his head back if the ball is underthrown, right? If you're running with somebody around the 4-4, you're trying, like the ball, like I feel like the pass interference should only come into play if the ball is over a DB's shoulder from his neck to neck area, right? How can you possibly get your head around if the ball is underthrown? Suppose you get your head around and the ball is thrown over top of you, right? That doesn't make sense to me, yo. It never made sense to me, but it's been more heightened this weekend because it happened on a big stage a couple times. Like face guarding should only apply on a well thrown ball, yo, because you can literally just throw it to a DB back every time and have the receiver come back through him.
I don't have no rebuttal. I mean, it's facts. They basically have engineered the rules to. I don't even know if it's to make the game more exciting, but it's to benefit the offense. And technically, offense is supposed to make the game more exciting, right? More offense, more scoring.
Right.
More excitement is basically what it's boiled down to, and that's just a way to increase scoring.
Because, and then I'm done after this last thing. Why wouldn't you just? And I feel like this is what the Raiders did, but why wouldn't you start just sending your man on a fly and before he gets to the peak of his route, when he's 20 yards downfield, just throw it to the defensive back, and have the receiver stop and try to come back for the ball.
I mean,
Right?
some people kind of perfected that
Yeah,
in terms of like the behind the back shoulder fade
yeah,
and stuff like that.
yeah.
Uh,
But you can
so
literally just throw it to like the DBs, like to his bottom where his butt meets his back at, and because he can't get his head around on that if it's low and sharp and if it's a line drive, and the receiver can just stop on a dime and fake like he coming, you know what I mean? He's trying to go through the DB for the ball. Like I don't understand that, but that's something that they'll have to look at in the offseason. All right, I'm done. We can get on to the podcast.
Yeah, I think good cornerbacks would adjust though. You know what I mean? Like if you see that that's the pattern, then you can have
But
somebody underneath, or you watching the wide receiver's eyes or something like that.
But you can
So
adjust to that though, because it's not because if someone is on the fly, you have to run full speed with them on the fly. If a ball is underthrown, you can't risk turning your head 15 yards downfield because they'll just run right past you. You know what I mean? Like yo, you're taught to when they turn and they put their hands up, you put your hand through their hands and you turn. If you turn too early, they're going to run right by you. But you can't turn and assume the ball gonna be underthrown, right? Because you're assuming the ball is coming like this. How can you cover this but still cover an underthrown ball? Like you can't cover something that's not supposed to be there.
but the ball still got to be catchable though. You know what I mean?
Not
Like
that see, that was I was about to say. No, not in that instance it doesn't though, right? In the instance of if someone throws the ball 10 feet over your head, it has to be catch. You know what I mean? It has to be catchable. But they're underthrowing the ball and the receiver is stopping, and you can't adjust to that because they're trying to like run through you, right?
mm,
Like so, like this. What I watched this weekend on this like a Sunday. If you're watching the game, watch how the underthrown balls. Like to me, there should never be a pass interference on an underthrown ball because, like you said, it is catchable, but it's only catchable because it's only not catchable because the defender is between you and the ball. But they say that you have to get your head around though, but that's almost impossible.
I think the only thing I can think of from that standpoint is what Turner said is if you see the receiver, I mean, but it makes you susceptible to all type of double moves
Mm-hmm.
and all that. If you see the
Mm-hmm.
receiver
And that's
eyes
what I'm
go
saying.
look back and you look back, I mean that's basically lost a
And
step
now
right there.
he hit a deep post on you, and then he gone.
Yep.
Like it's
Yeah, like I said,
impossible.
more offense, more scoring is what the rules are intended to do, and I think it's achieving that.
I like
What
scoring.
what I what I don't what I don't
I
like
can't stand
is
13-10.
yeah, I don't
Waste of
like
my
it either.
time.
But
Yeah, but is it really 13-10 though? Like is it really 35-31 if you're watching the game and the points weren't earned though? Like you know what I mean? Like I don't
look,
really see how touchdowns equate to action.
hey, look, I got to take objection to the word earn. If they count, it's earned, pretty much. Like
Yeah.
that's the way you got to roll with that one. What I was getting ready to say is the one thing I don't like about the pass interference rule with the NFL is how if you do that, say you throw some 40-yard bomb and you get a pass interference, you can get the ball to the one. I don't think you should be rewarded for all those yards based on a play like that. I think it should be like the 15, or maybe 20 yards like it is with college. I've never been a fan of I throw a 60-yard pass and
Yeah.
uh,
And
you
it's
know
just right. Yeah, again, it's not earned.
under the auspice of that if I wasn't in if the corner wouldn't interfere, he would have caught the ball and made 60 yards. Right? We don't know what would have
Right.
happened.
Right.
So I don't think that should be rewarded.
No, not
But
that.
all right, man. So let's get into it, man. Y'all get a chance to watch any football during Thanksgiving at all?
Yeah, I
Yes,
watched.
sir.
Of course, I watched.
Purposely I turned on the Chicago Detroit game. They need to take Chicago Detroit off. Like I basically, if it wasn't for Montgomery, I wouldn't even kept up with the game. Oh, and Hawkinson, and who they gave me a grand total of 20 points between both of them combined. but man, I need to take them two off TV on Thanksgiving.
I mean, I was hoping Swift was gonna do something, but he got
Yeah, I
hurt.
know.
So once that happened, I was like, all right, it's a wrap.
Yeah, me too. I had
mhm.
Swift in one of my leagues, and like I didn't even know he was hurt at first because I wasn't watching the game. I was looking at my phone. I was like, man, yo, his stats ain't changed in an hour and a half, and then that's when he was like, yo, he must be hurt. But yeah, that game was terrible, man. Like that game was terrible.
I guess so terrible game. Nobody really discussed except for two. Hawkinson, he did give me a touchdown, which from a tight end standpoint is is great, right? If you can get a touchdown out of a tight end and a couple catches, then unless you got one of the top three guys, then you're in pretty good standing. The only other bright spot for Detroit was Josh Reynolds, who had 3 for 70 and a touchdown. I'm not sure. From a Detroit pass catcher standpoint, I don't know if that makes him relevant or not. I still the only person I would want to own is Swift or Hawkinson. From that standpoint, the Jamal Williams did coming in and had 15 carries, 65 yards. Golf was terrible once again. He had 20. He was 21 to 25. He was efficient for 171 yards and 2 TDs. But man, 171. That's real pedestrian. On Chicago side, what y'all think about Andy Dalton? He, as far as you think he's worth picking up or potential, going forward.
It depends on how long they're
a
talking
boost for the
about.
offense.
Yeah, it depends on how long they're talking about the rookie being out.
Fields.
If Fields is out, for a week or two, then I definitely think Andy Dalton worth picking up, especially in huge leagues like the one we're in.
Right, especially you got that super flex position where you can play two QBs.
Right.
Darnell Mooney had a decent game. Somebody picked Darnell Mooney up too. I don't know who it was. Was that Richard? They got Darnell Mooney?
Yeah, he picked him up.
Bam ass nigga.
Yeah.
Oh man, but nah, look, Richard Quietly man got a mob, and he stayed at the top right now. So I'm hating. I'm gonna just say that. Look, when he put the eyes on, right? I saw it. I was like, man, the picture must ain't come through. I wasn't even thinking about the fact that he had a high score for the week, and I forgot to shout him out.
I knew exactly what he was talking about.
I seen you start laughing.
Right. Yeah.
I was like, hold on, man, I missed the picture. What the heck? My Wi-Fi is acting up again. That was funny. I was like, what that man was talking about? Let me ask Terrence. I know he'll know.
Right.
Yeah, but yeah, man. So the other game that was was terrible. Aside from the fact that Buffalo's offense finally showed up for the first time in a long time, and Josh Allen, I didn't expect this. I didn't expect them to do this against New Orleans. We've been waiting on them to do this. Like they should have done this for like the past 3 weeks, but they picked the game against New Orleans, a team that supposedly had a pretty good defense. And Josh Allen showed out with 4 TDs. He did have 2 interceptions, but he got you 43 yards rushing as well, and he was efficient. Man, look, he was 23 to 28, and 2 of those incompletes were interceptions. So basically, he aside from the 2 he completed to the other team, he only had 3 incomplete passes. After that, Matt Breida came in and had 26 yards rushing, 29 yards receiving, and had a receiving TD. And Singletary had 44 yards, which wasn't much. My boy Stephon Diggs, he's on a touchdown scoring streak, 7 receptions, 74 yards, and a TD grab, which is decent. And then Dawson Knox, man, he showed up after being hurt, and then getting back to a slow start. Only had 3 catches, but 2 of them was for touchdowns. So that puts him, right up and at the leaderboard for tight ends at the moment. He's actually number 1 right now, heading into the weekend, above Dalton Schultz, who we'll talk about, and then Hawkinson is 3rd.
I think Waller got hurt too.
Yeah, he did. Yep. And so, anything to take away from New Orleans, they pretty much they they got basically blanked almost. They only scored 6 points, and that was from a pass from Trevor Siemian. Any
I'm
takeaways
confused
from
on
this
the
game?
whole Taysom Hill situation. I'm like, when you had Jameis Winston, you kept putting in Taysom Hill. Now you got Trevor Siemian who's not doing anything, and Taysom Hill not sniffing the ball. I don't understand what Sean Payton's method.
Every time I look at that, I think about Gene's comment about he the best worst backup quarterback in the league. Like he always said the take over and never get the ball. I don't understand it either.
They just gave him a new contract too, worth like $90 million or something. I'm like
Yeah.
$90 million for
Yeah.
Taysom Hill, and he ain't even starting.
So I was confused. I thought he had 100 million joint before the year started, yo. Like on some like incentive based thing.
Yeah, right now it's 50, and if he get the quarterback position, it's 90.
Is that what they're trying not to do? They trying not to pay him his bonus.
So, but they keep. It's a weird, like I said before, it's a weird dynamic because they keep giving him stuff like he's gonna be the guy. Like he's 31 years old, by the way. Now,
I don't understand.
Yo, it's weird.
Yeah. Any takeaways from? I'm just looking through.
Who's Blake? Who threw a pass? Was it a receiver or a running back? He got to be hurt. Who's Blake Gilligan? Because Blake Gilligan threw a pass. Let me see. He better not be a backup.
I'm not sure who that is. Who he play for? He plays for New Orleans?
He is. He's the punter. The punter threw a pass.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I was gonna really get upset if they had another quarterback that came in and threw a pass.
They won't even let Taysom Hill throw the gadget plays no more.
So at this time, you bet off picking up the Saints punter than you are picking up their backup quarterback, yo. Like I don't get Taysom. I don't understand it, but
I don't get it either. Yeah. Let's see. All right. So the game of the day for Thanksgiving, man, was that Vegas Dallas game, and went to OT on us, and man, it was actually a decent game. Not from a Cowboys fan perspective, it may not have been considering the pass interference calls and other other events that took place, but at least from a fantasy standpoint. Man, you had your run of choices between Derek Carr had 373 and a touchdown, and gave you 21 yards rushing. Marcus Mariota, I'm sorry, not Marcus Mariota. He even though he did get a touchdown run. Josh Day he had a better production day than Taysom Hill. He had 2 attempts, 4 yards, and a touchdown. Josh Jacobs, 87 yards. Rushing TD and 25 yards receiving. The Deshaun Jackson, what y'all think about the Deshaun Jackson performance? Anything to take away from this? Yeah, y'all targeted him on the waiver wire this week. 3 receptions, 102 yards, 1 TD. Or is it similar to what he had before he got traded? Like that one blow up game he had with the Rams, and then next thing you know they moved him.
Well, Deshaun Jackson always torches Dallas at some point. So my thing, I got something to say about this. And it's with Fantasy Cruncher. I don't know if y'all use this tool. I called the Deshaun Jackson. I said he gonna have a big game versus Dallas. And for some reason they didn't put that man in none of my lineups. And I was trying my best to get him in. Then when CD Lamb went out, I put Deshaun Jackson in like 2 lineups, but he ended up being the number 1 wide receiver on the day. I don't know about Fantasy Cruncher. You guys gotta look at that. But they cost me some money on Thursday. So, but yeah, that's my complaint. I hope somebody is listening from Fantasy Cruncher. Probably not.
Right.
I hope this goes viral.
So what? Along with Deshaun Jackson performance, Hunter Renfrow had 8 receptions for 134 yards, and Zay Jones ended up with 5 for 59. So, despite having their woes and losing their receivers, and Darren Waller going out, early, because of injury, it's they seem to have a pretty decent day through the air. Um, Hunter Renfro definitely seems like he is, based on the war of attrition where they're losing guys and his consistency looks like he's going to be in that wide receiver 3 range and flex territory going forward consistently. What he has been, but it shows he has glimpses. I was just surprised that Dallas had some games where the defense showed up, and this is one where through the air they gave up plenty. On the Dallas side, Dak Prescott 2 TDs, 375 through the air. It didn't give you much on the rush from the rushing standpoint this week. He only actually had one attempt. On the ground, I'm not sure what to make of Tony Pollard and Zeke Elliott. Both of them had 10 and 9 attempts apiece and total no more than 60 yards together. Both did give you some production through the air, though. Tony Pollard had 4 receptions, 32 yards, and Zeke had 6 receptions, 24 yards. From the passing standpoint or receiving standpoint, Cedric Wilson, who I was actually high on him last week and this week. But this week he actually paid some dividends with 7 receptions, 104 yards. Michael Gallup, 5 receptions, 106 yards. And Dalton Schultz, who is number 2 tight end on the day, had 46 yards receiving plus a touchdown. They even got Sean McKeon in to get 1 catch for a touchdown. He's not relevant going forward, but Dalton Schultz is definitely one to continue to put out there in your lineups. And let's see here. From a receiver standpoint, if the injury can continue, I definitely think Cedric Wilson and Michael Gallup will be good streaming options going forward as well. All right, man. So that was a Turkey Day game, slate of games. Before I move off there, any takeaways from anything of note? Anybody in particular we need to be on the lookout for?
I think they said Zeke might be taking some weeks off. I hear that, and So yeah, I mean that bumps up Tony Pollard, of course. So.
What you think that kick return, Gene?
I love it because if you got it with our league where you get points for the
I
kick
know.
return, it definitely worked out. So
how many points did he give you for an our league?
I think it was 30. Let me double check just to make sure.
30 points.
Yeah, man, because it counted all. It was 100 yards kickoff, so
return. He had
counted
a touchdown.
the yards and the touchdown.
Then he had the running. Then he had the receiving yards.
Mm-hmm. He had a nice little outer.
It was actually.
So look, it was meant. It was meant because our league was so deep. It was meant to be able to have some relevant folks on the bench, right? Who may not get the same production from an offensive standpoint, but may get special team production. I don't necessarily know if I meant it for Tony Pollard, but it seemed to work out that way.
Yeah, it was 27.7.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right, man. So look, so for today's slate of games, folks who are set not to play. I know Kadarius Toney's been ruled out for the Giants game against Philly. Kyle Rudolph is not expected to play. He's doubtful. I think they've already made the decision. He won't play as well. That's another Giants player once again. Terrence's favorite receiver, Corey Day, is doubtful, and so it says still dealing with a growing injury, and so he missed both weeks 8 and 9, and came back to play. Didn't look great, and so this week playing against the Texans, which should be and would have been a decent matchup. He's out more than likely. Ruled out for today already have been Alvin Kamara, running back for New Orleans. He was out on Thursday. Let's see, AJ Brown, Tennessee receiver, has been ruled out. And man, I'm I'm still debating whether or not I should play. What's my boy name? Incline, something, whatever his name is. Jeremy McNichols is off for Tennessee. Man, I spent $20 of my fab budget on that dude, and he basically was a bust. Eric Ebron, tight end from
So
Pitt.
was Adrian Peterson.
Yeah, look, both of them was a bust. Antonio Brown is out once again for Tampa Bay. Jordan Howard for Philly is out, so that leaves Scott and who am I missing from Philly? So they don't have to split the carry between three backs this week. At least narrow it down a bit. And Michael Carter, the New York Giants running back, is also out. Man, that was a sweet matchup for him too against Houston. Game time decision. Mark Ingram. I'm sorry, not Mark Ingram. That was Thursday. Cordell Patterson is a game time decision against Jacksonville. I need this dude to play.
Jose backstage.
Oh, I bet he is. He's gonna be backstage. Like no, but Cordell Patterson, man, I'm hoping he.
Whoa, look at that view.
Oh man.
You went back down?
Yeah, I went back down. Yes, Friday night.
Oh, okay.
And then yeah.
I should kick him back out the stream.
Right. And show back home,
right?
Huh?
Man.
Hold on, you at, Jose?
He turned his camera off. Somebody want to see all that.
Too.
Where you at?
What part of Florida?
West Palm.
Oh yeah, West Palm. You got the palm tree. You got the little tree just dangling in the little part of the window.
Nah, it's just a green screen. Just a green screen.
And then you got the water on the other side. You know.
Hey, look, he say that right, but then watch a boat come by in the background in a minute.
Right.
Oh,
that's two.
Oh, look, there you go, boat right there.
Yep, he told you.
Right on cue.
So that's two people I don't mess with this weekend. That's him and Chris. Chris giving pictures from the Iron Bowl. I said,
yeah, that's right. Chris was. That's Glass Manor. See, look, Glass Manor going to Iron Bowls, yo. They got out the hood.
Where's the Iron Bowl?
Auburn, Alabama game.
Alabama, yeah.
Oh.
He was the Auburn, Alabama game. So what does son do? He played this game?
Honestly, I didn't watch, man. I was
I didn't catch it either.
My cousin from Ohio, he came through and we watched the Ohio State Michigan game earlier, and then I had my other cousin came through and I was chatting with them in the living room. I didn't even watch the Iron Bowl.
Who won that game?
Oh, okay.
Alabama won in overtime.
Overtime.
No, I'm talking about Michigan and
Michigan won that.
Michigan beat them by like 15.
Ooh.
Right. Overtime.
Man, it's about time. Like I don't necessarily have a dog in the fight, man, but I want the rivalry to be a rivalry. It's been so lopsided that it hasn't been fun to watch. But man, so I'm glad they got a W. This time. But and I actually found out I got a distant cousin who actually from out of Georgia who actually starts on their team at corner for Michigan. So I had a little bit of slight rooting interest in that game. At least while I was on the phone with him anyway, or with our other cousin. So he was living and dying as the game was progressing. But all right, man, back to the game time decisions. John Ross, who hasn't made much noise at all this year, is questionable for the Giants. And the only reason why this is even relevant is the fact that the Giants can't keep anybody healthy. So if he happens to be out, that's just another, another Giants receiver that Daniel Jones will be playing without. So because right now I think Sterling Shepard, Kadarius Toney, and Kyle Rudolph looks like they'll all be out this week. So there may be an opportunity if he's able to play to actually have some production. Even though I think he'll be matched up against Slayton, so that may not bode well for him. Aaron Jones is questionable this week. Let's see, his game time decision. Still dealing with a knee. If he doesn't go, I think we all know Dylan has a a great floor this week and potential against the Rams to have a decent day. Expected to play but came in iffy was Marquise Goodwin. Elijah Mitchell for San Francisco, Damian Harris for New England, and Ramondre Stevenson are both expected to play. Saquon Barkley, Jeans guy, is expected to play this week. Then we got Marquise Brown, Hollywood Brown is expected to play, and Hunter Henry. I heard some different reports. It says he's expected to play. But for some reason, I feel like I got an alert saying he was in jeopardy of not playing. But right here it says
I could find that out real quick.
All right. I would grab my phone if I knew where it was.
You got an iPhone?
Yeah.
You got an Apple Watch?
Nope.
Oh.
I need one, but I need to get another phone first.
Because it'll ping it.
Oh, will it?
Yeah.
Let's see. Some other inactives this week.
Hunter Henry is questionable with a neck, so
Okay.
he's likely to play.
Some other notable injuries or inactives this week. Pittsburgh, Joe Hayden won't be playing at corner. Asante Samuel Jr. will be out for the Chargers this week at corner. And anybody else of note?
Hey, look, I know I'm a little bit late, but did you say A.J. Brown was out for this on IR?
Yep.
All right.
And look, I was trying to figure. I couldn't remember my guy's name on the that I just picked up for Tennessee. Was it Icone, whatever his name is?
The Westbrook or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, you picked him up just in time.
Right. I'm hoping he does something this week.
Hey, Gene, you might get some company this week.
What you mean?
My team don't look too good, so it might be lower points. So I might be reaching.
That's disrespectful.
Ever since week 4 or 5, I've been rolling.
Around.
You know, I wasn't
don't you get 2 quarterbacks that went
in
off?
the basement no more and all that, but I said I'm gonna let it slide. But then they come out with a disrespectful comment. You know,
Hey, I gave you 2 trade offers, and you denied it.
Remember when I finished in the top half of the league? Remember that I took an L on the whole week. I let everybody ride. I had 25 points for a week.
I gave you
that when I finished in the top half, yo.
I gave you opportunities. I gave you a nice deal, and you didn't even look at it.
You remember all that when I finished higher
you saw the
than
name
like
and
you
just like
finished,
this.
Yo, you remember that when I finished higher than you, yo.
Listen, my 2 quarterbacks are some sauce, man. They finally went off this week.
Yeah, well, so you started off with two bangers. At least you're going into the weekend with
Listen, man, but my team has been making my nerves real bad. Like I watched that Buffalo and Saints game, and I'm like 2 picks already. I'm like, come on, Josh Allen, gosh. I mean, if he didn't make those 4 touchdowns, you know how many points I would get if he just don't throw any interceptions. I would be up there with AJ and Zeke and Rich.
The AJ still making moves, man. I'm watching him too. I see him. He's still making moves.
He making sure he call you out like
man, that joker. All right, man. So let's jump into this week's slate of games, man. Let's get this one joint out the way. Let me see where we at. Who's gonna start off with first?
I did take Gene's guy though, Cedric Wilson. Ooh.
Did you play him?
Yeah, I did. Not in our league, but in a different league.
All right, so let's get into let's see.
I ain't gonna lie, but like since I've been on this podcast and since Gene's been a Dallas fan, I've been watching Dallas a little bit longer than I've ever had in my life. Yeah. You know, I've never rooted so much for players on Dallas team.
Yo, you missed the whole pass interference rant, so we're gonna leave that.
We're not recapping it.
We're not gonna.
He said we're not recapping it.
So look, all right. So we'll start off with Pittsburgh, a decent, at least a somewhat decent game. Pittsburgh versus Cincinnati.
Oh
Bengals
yeah.
favored by 4.5. The over under expected point total is 44.5 points. And
It's one of my
so we
games of
got
the
Big
week right
Ben,
here.
second game back from COVID, matched up with Joe Burrow. I think we all know Najee Harris. I think he said he get 90% of all the backfield touches. That's receiving and rushing. Like with that type of, you had to be. Who was the guy for Redskins one year? He averaged like 2 yards a carry. Was getting all these carries back in the day. I can't think of his name. But anyway, Najee Harris, man, is definitely a guy. It's gonna be mid-range RB1 this week, no matter what. Basically, no matter what he does, because they're just gonna give him enough opportunities to get some fantasy production. Mix.
How often is Najee Harris in the top 5? I feel like he get a lot of matchups, but where is he right now? I don't. He don't never.
So one of the things I see, I don't see the top 5, but one thing they say is out of 10 games this year, he's only finished outside the top 12 running backs twice.
The top 12, okay.
So that'd be basically RB1 territory. He's only finished outside of RB1 territory twice.
Yeah, but he just
think
don't
that
blow the top off though. You know what I mean?
See,
he always.
Yeah, and like I said, it's just based on volume. Like he always gonna be up there just based on the fact that he's getting the lion's share of all the touches in the backfield. So
yeah, that's the point I made earlier this year when I was like, he's never going to have like a 6 yard per carry day or stuff like that. But he gets so many touches that it's impossible for him to not be like, what they say in the top 12. It's the same way with Le'Veon. Like if you watch his top years, his joke averaged 3.9 yards a carry, but his utilization was so high that he got like 10 targets, 30 carries. You know what I mean? That he's always going to be in the top 10, if not top 5, every week.
But he's not in the top 5. He's in the 5 to 12 range.
Right.
Who's the top 5 then?
right. So I think that's what they had. That was what I was alluding to. Terms that he's gonna be in that 6 to 12 range most times.
Right, but he's guaranteed to be in that 6 to 12 range, which makes him a safe play.
Yeah, but I'm trying to think who is the top 5. Okay, I know Jonathan Taylor.
It used to be Henry, but he's gone.
We're talking about right now. Weeks. McCaffrey, that's 2.
Yeah, I guess.
Austin Eckler, Mixon,
Chubb.
Oh, so let me look, instead of guessing. Let me see.
Right. I mean, but we're saying for the last 5 weeks though, so you can't really unless you got the number for the last 5 weeks. But Chubb definitely would be there.
I know Mixon has been been doing good. I agree on that. Yeah, I was just trying to think who was this. I forgot all about
I'm gonna tell you who's in the top 5 next week if they don't play Zeke. Pollard will.
Yeah, so top 5 right now, if you're just looking at points, Jonathan Taylor, Austin Eckler, Derrick Henry still in the top 5. Joe Mixon, James Conner, and Harris.
James Conner.
He got the most touchdowns.
I'm about to say he had all the touchdowns.
Yeah,
and one time he got a game to himself. He scored like 2 or 3 of them.
It was 4. He scored on San Fran.
Right. And then you got Zeke. Then you got Najee.
No.
Zeke up there?
Hiding Chubb.
It's Chubb it's Najee, then Chubb, then DeAndre.
The standard form terms or
all right, catch it.
The standard or like half PPR. What's the scoring?
So, this is so in half. Oh, so I just switched it. So half PPR, he's actually number 5. Yeah,
because he got a lot of catches. He get a lot of yards catching.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I'm looking at it.
He actually
Derrick Henry number 3.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I know, right?
All right, so yeah, that's what's up. Let's see, from a receiver standpoint, we know Deontay Johnson is getting the target, most of the targets for Pittsburgh. You guys got any interest in Claypool this week?
No.
He said he had a decent performance last week with 5 for 93, and finished in the top, right outside the top 2. So he's high end wide receiver 3 last week. What about Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Tyler Boyd?
I like T. Higgins.
From Higgins' standpoint, I have him in a couple leagues, and I'm disappointed. He's hasn't found the end zone since week 2, and it says has yet to finish a game with more than 12 half PPR points over the since week 2. So yeah, now I'm interested to see what he does, but I haven't been.
I got Chase going off this week, and I got Mixon as the number 1 running back on the week.
Wow.
It's a bit. I see this be a high scoring game.
On Pittsburgh defense?
Yeah, because Joe Hayden's out. But
Pittsburgh defense.
Mika Fitzpatrick back. I think it's going to be a close game.
It's going to be close. I just think it's going to be high scoring. I think it's, I think Chase going to have a big game. And Mixon going to be the number 1 running back on the week. So,
I don't know. My gut tells me Pittsburgh defense is going to slow down. I would agree with you.
They ain't slow down the Chargers. They ain't slow down Eckler.
Yeah, but they had Mika Fitzpatrick. He wasn't playing. He's coming back this game. He's their quarterback of their secondary. So he kind of tightens it up. But you got Joe Hayden out. Yeah, I don't know about Witherspoon or whoever their backup is. I'm gonna go with Terrence. I believe in Terrence. I'm gonna go with Terrence. I'm gonna pick Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. And you know what? I'm gonna do a stack. That's what I'm gonna do. Thank you, Terrence.
I got a stack.
Thank you.
I got Mixon and Chase.
I'm sold. Let me do it right now.
All right, so the next game up, Carolina versus Miami. Panthers favored by 2.
Ooh, I like this game.
Over under only 42 points for some reason. And
I feel like this game is going to be a lot of fantasy points.
You think it's going to be a fantasy bonanza?
Yeah, I really do.
So we know any interest in starting Cam and
Yes,
and Tua this week. I figure if Washington can put up a decent game against Carolina, then as long as Tua's that kind of guy. If he's hot, he's in for a good day. If he starts off hot, but if he starts off shaky, it may go soft quick. But it'll be interesting to see. We definitely know Chris McCaffrey gonna do what he does. Y'all think Cam has been well, look, it's hard to say because the guy that was in there before was so terrible. I think anybody with a pulse would bring, improvement on the offense. But do you think Cam helps or hurts Christian McCaffrey?
Helps.
Definitely helps.
Because you still got to keep an eye on Cam. Cam can still run.
Right.
Yeah,
Cam still be scoring touchdowns and running. Like he can still. Like you really can't tell. And I say Cam helps. It lightens the loads on McCaffrey.
So look, we're not on DFSs yet, but right now they got Cam predicted to be QB8, and his DraftKings number is only 5,600.
Yep, I got him on a bunch, like about 10.
Let me see. So Chris McCaffrey, he's running him out there. Myles Gaskin, he's getting a lot of volume. Over the last 5 games, he has 84 carries, 257 yards, and a rushing TD, and 17 receptions for 73 yards and 2 receiving TDs. So he's averaging about 20 touches a game over that same time period. But based on the volume, he should have that mid to low tier RB2, high RB3 range. DJ Moore, he scored last week, right? His first since week 4, which is crazy, considering how hot he started. So I think I'm definitely optimistic in terms of what he can do going forward with Cam back there. The number of catches may not increase a whole lot, but I think the opportunities with them having, like you said, having to keep an eye on Cam, ability to run, will open up some opportunities for him at least to get in the end zone. The Robbie Anderson, his production has picked up, but anybody thinking about? I don't think anybody's rolling him out there.
No.
Not yet.
Jalen Waddle is still getting the lion's share of. He's getting almost a 24% target share this week, and so he's always been in that low end wide receiver 2, high in 3 range. And then Gesicki's the only tight end that's worth even looking at between the two teams. Especially, if he has the ability to score a touchdown this week. Next up, Philadelphia versus New York. And Eagles are favored by 3.5. Over under is 45.5 points.
I got the Giants beating this game.
What? You got the Giants?
Yeah.
Okay.
What make you feel confident about the
I'm
Giants?
not gonna laugh at you. I'm not gonna say nothing.
Just the same thing that you said, but in a different way. New coordinator, the resurgence of a new, the old somebody new. They got weapons. I really think they got weapons. Sterling Shepard, Galladay, Barkley, Ingram. Kadarius Toney. They got weapons.
Oh, Tony.
And then if they,
Yeah, he's out this week.
Who, Tony?
Yeah.
They still got Slate. They still got weapons, I feel like. And I think, everybody's sleeping on them. And their defense is kind of good. It just haven't been clicking. But that's just me. I feel like they're going to win.
It could be a good game for sure. I actually got Philly defense in a couple of lineups this week. I think they're going to, they've been kind of high. They've been running the ball more, which I think is helping them. So, I definitely see this as a game where they can control the ball and their defense can take control of the game. So, yeah, I got Philly in this one, but I don't know. We'll see.
I hope Giants beat them. Really, I got a little stake in it because I want Washington to make the playoffs.
I was going to say that's definitely a Washington. That's for sure. All right. So from a running back standpoint, we mentioned that Jordan Howard is out. So basically, it's down to Miles Sanders. Boston Scott splitting the carry this week rather than going 3 ways. And they'll split it between Sanders and Scott for the majority. Hopefully, Gainwell doesn't come in and pick up a bunch of carries. Right now, Sanders he's in that mid-range RB2 tier, and Scott's a mid-range RB3, which is not a big fan of the time, the backfield timeshare for most teams. So I try to stay away. Gene, you got any thoughts on Saquon Barkley this week?
Nah, man. It's kind of. But it's kind of iffy with him. You don't really know how many touches he's going to get this week. I think last week he got what? Let me see. I think it was somewhere around 12. Let me fact check that though.
But it was his first game back, right?
Yeah. He had 6 rushes, 35 yards, and 6 targets that he caught all of them.
Right, those 12 touches. Yeah,
so.
He had 12 last week. Even if you look at the beginning of the season, man, he wasn't, he was coming back from the ACL, so he hasn't been a workhorse all season, and he haven't really been getting the explosive plays. But I definitely pick him up in a running back 2 or a flex back. That's where I would have him. He's somebody that's going to probably get you between 6 and 15 points, but it's not going to be anything too explosive, though.
All right, so from a receiver standpoint, we talked about Devontae Smith. He's been going off recently, and I remember he went off right after I said, "Don't touch it, don't touch it." And so he says, right now, Eagles run the ball 67% of all their offensive plays, and he's only gotten 21 targets over the last 4 games. But he's out of those 21 targets, he turned them into 14 catches, 258 yards receiving, 3 touchdowns. And so he's been wide receiver 16 over the last 4 weeks, based on his efficiency. And he's averaging 12.3 yards per target. So I definitely think you roll him out there again. Hoping for another efficient day where his receptions may not be high, but if he can have an opportunity to make some explosive plays, I think once again he can have a fantasy impact for you. We talked about New York. Kadarius Toney is out. Sterling Shepard is out. So that leaves Kenny Galladay and perhaps John Ross, who's questionable, going in for New York this week. You wouldn't touch Evan Ingram. Dallas Goedert has averaged 11.3 fantasy points per game since Zach Ertz was traded. So he is definitely a tight end 1. The question is whether he'll be a low end, mid-tier to low end tight end 1. Over his last 4 games, he's had 16 for 205 on 23 targets. So, and he's got a 31% target rate per route run, which leads all receivers and tight ends over the last 4 weeks. So. Next game, Tennessee Titans versus New England Patriots. Patriots are favored by 6.5. Over under 44 points. And talk about a disappointing game last week. Ryan Tannehill facing the Houston Texans basically threw up a stinker and threw up all over himself. Had 1 touchdown, 4 interceptions, and I don't know how you can trust him this week against New England and Bill Belichick. Mac Jones, once again, he's going to be efficient and almost from the standpoint of Najee Harris, where just based on his efficiency, he's going to give you a low floor, but he's not going to give you any type of explosive output at all. From a running back standpoint, Terrence, you touching any of the Tennessee running backs?
Oh yeah, I am actually.
What?
What's the guy who came in? Shoot, I can't even remember his name.
Foreman.
Nah, not Foreman.
Hilliard.
Dontrell Hilliard.
Hilliard. Yeah. Hilliard. He had a bunch of catches in the last game. So this is what you call a Jose sleeper. Hilliard.
He had 63% of the snaps last week he played.
Yeah,
out of nowhere.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I think they're gonna be in a similar situation. To be honest, I think Tennessee is on a bye week this week. You know what I mean? Like I think they look, we won 8 games in a row. We got a bye next week, and we're gonna just mail them in. We still will be the head of our division. You know what I mean? Even if we catch an L. So I think they look, we're gonna take a couple weeks off, and I think they're gonna get Hilliard a bunch of catches and some yards, and if he get in the end zone, he could be in the top 10. So yeah, I like Hilliard. That's a sleeper king special right there.
So from the backfield standpoint with New England,
I
like Damon Harris when he gets the majority carries. I like Ron Stevenson when he gets the majority carries. I don't like when both of them are playing. I haven't liked Gene Borders. I haven't liked New England backfield since they had, what's my man name? Gene
Corey Dillon.
Corey Dillon. I haven't been high on that backfield since then.
Long time.
From a receiver standpoint, Nick Westbrook, is it Icon or Icon is basically the only worthwhile receiver on there. He's a boom or bust flex play at best. From a receiving standpoint for New England, I don't think Kendrick Bourne may be a flex play. Jacoby Myers, he has his first touchdown in his entire career a couple weeks ago, so he's going to give you a floor, but not much else. Hunter Henry is expected to go, but he's a high-end tight end 2 this week, and he's completely dependent on a touchdown. All right, man. I'm not even sure what to make of this game, but they are saying it's going to have points galore. That's the Falcons versus Jaguars. Over under is 46.5 points. The Falcons are favored by 1, right? And so the man, I don't know how you can be confident in Matt Ryan after he had a terrible performance against the Patriots.
He's gonna go off.
And then Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah,
you still got Trevor Lawrence?
Jags right now, man, they are broken. They look broken to me.
Yeah, do you still got Trevor Lawrence on the roster?
I do. If he's on the bench, he's terrible right now.
Three straight games without a touchdown pass.
Yeah, it's terrible. He's terrible. And
Man, I don't like anything about Atlanta's running situation except if Cordero Patterson can play. But we saw that he's as bad as they've been playing, he hasn't been able to help them. If Ryan gonna play like he did last week, James Robinson, his total has been going down.
I got Kyle Pitts going off this game.
I got Jacksonville winning this game convincingly.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Man, I picked up Atlanta defense on DFS.
I picked the Jacksonville defense.
Oh.
So it sounds like we got a problem here.
It sounds like we got a problem.
Hey, check this out, right? So Terrence, I see you've been digging into the numbers, right? The last 3 quarterbacks to face the Jaguars, Josh Allen, Carson Wentz, and Garoppolo, they finished QB 20, 24, and 16.
There we go. Jacksonville defense.
Now, I want you to do this research of all the sorry quarterbacks that played them and see what they did against them.
What type of logic? You said the sorrier the quarterback.
Yep. the better they play against them.
That is a Sleeper King special.
The better they play against them.
Hey, look, that's like the Jedi mind trick. But what did the sorry do to him?
Right, yo, they hit him with the straight Jedi mind trick, like.
Oh man. Yeah, so look, from a pass catcher standpoint, the only people worth looking at are the tight ends. That's Kyle Pitts and Dan Arnold.
I got Kyle Pitts and Russell Gage. On defense, on Jacksonville?
I'm just saying from a tight end standpoint, Pitts and Arnold are the ones. From a receiver standpoint, Pitts and Arnold are the ones that you should be looking at. I don't like Marlon Jones. I don't like Chenault. I
like Chenault.
Man,
James Robinson.
I may have to rethink Laviska Shenault because I forgot that Jamal Agnew is out for the season.
Yep, and then what San Fran did to them, they've been talking the whole week on Bleacher Report about they've been using Shenault the wrong way. They're gonna put him in the running back now. They're gonna put him on every low position. So I expect him to try to like mimic what Debo did to them. So
James Robinson, top 5 running back this week.
James Robinson. All right, you heard it here first.
I'm not stamping that approval.
I don't know.
I had no reason to watch that game, but now I might have to
top 5. You said top 5
running back, and Jacksonville defense will outperform Atlanta's defense.
That's Sleeper Prince Terrence over there.
So this game might be. We got a couple games that's pretty good, but it may be in the running for game of the week. And that's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Indianapolis Colts.
Blowout.
The Bucs are favored by 3. The over/under is 52.5 points.
Under.
Brady has not been, he has not looked good over the last couple of weeks. And of course that's by Brady standards, but he hasn't looked that great. And Carson Wentz, that dude, boy, he's like, it's no telling. It says the Bucs have the biggest pass funnel defense in the league, with opponents throwing against them 67% of the time. And so, let's see. Looking right now, just judging it off of the Week 11 performance against the Bills, Carson Wentz basically did nothing. Yeah, 106 passes and 1 touchdown, and only do 20 passes.
What do you mean he didn't do nothing? Hand off to Jonathan Taylor. That's a hard thing to do, man.
He ain't
So
happy with
yeah,
that. He got the MVP on this team.
pretty much. So from that standpoint, oh man, we haven't done this a lot, man. But what's Jonathan Taylor against Tampa Bay? Let's see, his expected output this week is and half PPR is they got to finish in second at 18.5, second to McCaffrey this week at 18.5. You are going over under that total.
Well,
We'll start with you, Jose. You're going over under for Jonathan Taylor, 18.5 points.
over. Going over. I think he's gonna go off on them. The linebackers are hurt. Their running defense is the running D tackle is out. Might be a game.
Yeah, I gotta take the over on that one too. I mean, he on fire right now. They back at home.
He gotta take a step back. Sometime the Tampa Bay run defense is traditionally strong. I'm going under, yo.
Had to be one.
All right, so we got two to one, huh?
Yo, got to.
I'm surprised.
It might be because in my money league, I'm just hoping that the Joe will take a step back.
Oh man, I ain't gonna lie. I'm with you on that, Gene. I ain't gonna lie. For real.
Because Gene, you close, right? You real close.
Hey,
I'm in second, but it ain't no close second though. Second ain't close. Second like last. Second is usually when last is in our league, yo.
Look, the what you call it? Him going under is like the nicest thing we can say about that league with John Taylor. We're like, Bam was in that joint wishing for COVID and some more stuff.
It worked, right?
Man,
Hey,
for real.
Let me ask this: What's the total points he's had so far? I'm just want to see how compared to our league.
Oh, it ain't even close. Look, so hold on. Before we say that, because I don't want y'all to think it's all the time. So our league is probably 30 to 40% higher point total than the league that the podcast league is. But he's probably 30 to 40% higher than what we are doing on a normal year, right? So a normal year, the last place person might be 340 points behind. I'm in second, and I'm 300 some points behind. That just shows you how much of a record pace he's on. Like he's had a 300-point week, and we were doing this league for 15 years and never had like maybe a 260-point week, and he's had like 280s and 300. So
dang,
it's kind of skewed to go by what his total number is because he's high even for our league.
Yeah, I know.
No, you talking about Jonathan Taylor though, right? You want to know what Jonathan Taylor?
No. I want to know what's his total points. I want to know what his total points.
Oh, for
Jamal? I got it right here. You pulling that right? Or you want me to pull it?
Yeah, I got it. We got 2. Let me see. What do you have? Is that right? 2,186 points.
Yeah, that's how crazy it is right now, yo.
Crazy.
Woo. We would be what? 1,300 behind.
Yeah, like I said, the bonuses and stuff that league is. Jonathan Taylor had like a 80-point week.
He over there making plans for his winnings.
Oh man, he wherever he going, he already there.
He's like, I'm on vacation now.
Wherever he is going, he is already there.
But if you like look at his lineup, right? He got like 3 potentially top 6 picks. Well, you didn't know that Cooper Kupp was gonna be Cooper Kupp, but he got Lamar Jackson, Cooper Kupp, Jonathan Taylor, Dalvin Cook. Like that should never happen, yo. And it came from trades, man. Anyway,
yeah, I don't see how you got Dalvin Cook and Jonathan Taylor. Oh, that's that's the one who made the trade.
Like that's one person we let in the league. You know what? I'm done. We move on, yo.
Yeah.
What if you
upset all over again?
Listen, what if
sabotage the whole league, yo?
Is it in the rule books? Right? To make a trade within couple teams to build your own super team to catch up.
But see, here's the problem,
right? No collusion.
That's collusion.
Yeah, no collusion. But here's the problem. The trade was so early, like it was dumb, right? Because I called it out when it happened. But it was so early that the trade was just dumb on the strength of why would you trade your first round pick after week 2 because you know what I mean he didn't do it in the first 2 weeks, right? It was that kind of dumb. right?
Right.
Because you know what the potential is.
No, you said it, but folks let
But
it slide, and because they ain't think nothing of it, 'cause it was so early.
Yeah, at the time, man,
yo,
nobody said
and
nothing
somebody
because it
gave
was
Buffalo
probably
defense.
even at the time.
And
Hey, look,
soon
Nick-
as they gave him Buffalo defense, they had them 2 straight shutouts, yo. And he had like 30 points in 3 straight weeks with Buffalo defense. Like he just took off, yo.
Next year, the second place gonna have a higher bid just in case this happened again.
Yo,
They're gonna tell y'all we need to have more pot in the second and third.
yo, it's
Yeah,
a
look,
reason why you never see.
I bet that'll come up this time, Gene. Remember, usually it's like no, they don't want to give away no money. They want the winner to take every dollar.
Yeah, take everything.
I bet after this season they start thinking about it.
Yo,
Yeah, the
it's a
season too
reason
long and
why.
not had no second or third place, man. Too much work.
Yo, it's a reason why you don't see blockbuster trades in pro football, yo. It's like, I mean, like, yo, you would never get value out of it, yo. Like, you won't get value.
All right, look, man. So we can wind this up. Let's so we know we're rolling Fournette out there, Jonathan Taylor. We always ask the same question, week in and week out. You going Godwin or Evans this week? We'll start
Evans
with
been
you,
killing
Tom.
for me lately, man. Evans been touchdown king. So I'm just gonna keep going with Evans just until further notice.
What about you, Terrence?
Yeah, that's always 50-50 for me, man. If I always lean toward Evans because to me he get the deeper ball, so I like that instead of trying to get the volume with Godwin. So I'm gonna lean toward Evans.
All right.
But I will say I don't think this is gonna be a high scoring game. I don't think
So
this
you fading the over under on this 50?
Yeah.
You're going under.
I don't really like it.
I definitely see John, if they can run the ball anywhere close to what they did, I see him going under. The fact that Brady hasn't been that sharp, and if Jonathan Taylor controlled the ground game again, I definitely see him going under that total. And it's in Indy's best interest for it to be a low scoring game. Gronk is back. He had 6 for 71 last week on 8 targets. What's crazy is that let me see. It says okay, so that was week 8. So right now he's tight end 1, which isn't hard to do, but just based on the chemistry of him and Brady, there's always a chance for him to have a touchdown or 2.
I mean, it's definitely some storyline with Brady being back in, the Colts Stadium, him and Gronk, like all the battles he had there with Manning. So I don't know if you want to add that into it. They might make that a storyline.
Hey, I got a question, and I know I just said we're gonna try to finish up, but did anybody ever watch that Manning cast on ESPN? I haven't watched it yet.
I have.
They say it's good.
I heard of the material, I haven't seen it.
All right, next up, another potential game of the week: Los Angeles Rams, the Green Bay Packers. Rams favored by 1. Over under 47.5 points. Matthew Stafford, he hasn't been great, hasn't been bad, but hasn't been all that great. What's crazy, he's actually he's at 7,100 with DraftKings, and so that's more than a lot more than Cam. Aaron Rodgers, he continues, man, just to go out and do what he does. How you say RELAX, relax. He had 385 last week with 4 touchdowns, and unlike Josh Allen, no interceptions.
He's hurt. I mean, I got just a notification saying he's dealing with some elbow and chronic back issues
and toe.
Cool.
I thought you were gonna say about the broken pinky toe.
Yeah, the toe. The toe. But I heard.
He got the what's the joint? He got the Harlem Nights. he got the Harlem Night going on.
And Rams coming off a bye too. I like the Rams in this game.
Yeah, I like the Rams in this game.
In weeks 9 and 10, before the bye, Henderson had only 99 yards total yards from scrimmage in those 2 games combined and no touchdowns. You buying that buying Darrell Henderson this week, Jose?
Yeah. That Green Bay defense is not good rushing defense.
Well, Aaron Jones is out, so if he's
They
out,
say he's questionable.
yeah, he's questionable. So if he's out, we know AJ Dillon. You got to roll him out there. If he plays, then the question is, how much he will play. So I think you got to kind of temper your expectations on that. I'm not even gonna speak on Cooper Kupp because he's also held by the number 1 player in the league. So just leave that alone. And then AJ got him as well. So nobody I like right now has Cooper Kupp.
Y'all think Cooper Kupp gonna go off this week?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It depends. So if Matt Stafford goes out and Wolford comes in, or that other running back, the scrambling quarterback, then I got it spread out a little bit more. But
what you mean if Matt Stafford go out? He not hurt?
They said
if he get hit one good time and his pinky toe, or his chronic back
Aaron
issue.
Rodgers got.
Aaron Rodgers got the pinky toe.
Oh no, I'm talking about Stafford. If Stafford gets hurt, Cooper Kupp is not. I think the Cooper Kupp, his points will go down.
Stafford not hurt. That's not something.
I got a alert saying that he got what's my alert say? I just got it right now.
They say he got a hyperextended elbow.
Oh,
You're doing his non-throwing hand though? Non-throwing
that must be new.
Yeah, it just came. Just came out.
They said he got a hyperextended elbow. So,
but on which arm though?
Good question.
And then chronic back issues. He get hit one good time. It doesn't say.
So look on Kupp. They say right now he's matched up against the Packers slot corner, Shandon Sullivan, who's given up a 71% catch rate on throws his way. So they say his matchup so juicy that he's worth $9,600 in DraftKings.
How y'all know they ain't throwing screens on like my man though, yo? How y'all know they ain't throwing them quick hitches or whatever, man? No, he might be getting screened a lot, yo.
I don't know if it's his throwing arm or not.
Look, we know Devontae Adams is basically they got the number 1 and number 2 receivers in this game, right? With Kupp and Adams, got to be.
Yeah, but Devontae is going against Ramsey when I don't even know who.
And he bust
Cooper
Ramsey
Kupp.
last time though. I mean, I don't think Ramsey can stop Devontae Adams.
I don't think he can stop Devontae Adams because he has Rodgers at quarterback, right? So it's not like he got a suspect quarterback back there, trying to get on the ball. Man, because they truth be told, they don't really have anybody else. All that great. MVS is a home run guy, and he hit one out last week. But other than that, man, you would think that defense would key on Devontae Adams and shut him down, but that hasn't happened. All right, so look, matchup. Who would you rather have in this game, Kupp or Adams? We'll make it easier since Kupp have a better matchup. Who would you rather have in fantasy? I mean, in DFS, Kupp or Adams? Adams DraftKings is at 8,600.
Kupp.
Still Kupp.
All right.
I know y'all hate to hear that when y'all leave.
Yeah, I just don't like the toe issue with Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
And I think Aaron Jones is probably going to be out. They just lost that to Minnesota. Minnesota, to me they shouldn't have lost that game. I think the Rams coming off the bye, I think they're going to come out hot, and I think they're going to take the game. I don't think it's going to be high scoring. I think it's going to be like 21-17 or something like that.
I can see that. All right, next up, Cleveland Browns versus the Baltimore Ravens. Over under 45.5, with the Ravens favored by 3.5 points. Man, y'all remember when after OBJ got traded, how excited Baker Mayfield was, and they got the big win.
Yep.
We didn't even mention OBJ in the last game.
Right.
I got him on my DFS this game.
I was going to, but I was thinking like basically because we had 11:23. I was trying to finish about 11:30. But if you got something on them, we can bring them up. But let's finish this one real quick. Cleveland and Baltimore. Like I said, Baker, he was riding high after that big win. The first game with OBJ out. But since that time, man, it says he's now finished 4 of his last 5 games outside the top 20. And basically, this week, he's matched up against a defense that he's not expected to have a exciting output total on. So I don't know if you would run him out there at all. We know we're running Nick Chubb out there. He's still doing this thing. Kareem Hunt is close to returning, but I don't think he will be playing this week.
Can't trust him this week.
He's playing this week.
He is playing this week.
I wouldn't trust him this week.
I wouldn't. It says
I'm trusting him. I need him.
Let me see. What are they saying? Right now they're saying he's activated from injury reserve. I was trying to see if they had any notes on his practice this past week. They don't really say too much whether or not he did practice fully. Devontae Freeman and Tavis Murray. You guys, Gene, you rather have Murray or Freeman?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Exactly, yo. He
get running back
like
to the city.
worse or worse, yo, to choose from.
Right.
If Dalvin Cook playing, man, I ain't messing with Murray. And Freeman, yo.
So look,
I mean, if I gotta pick one, like Freeman, I guess.
Okay.
Freeman.
All right. So from a passing standpoint, we know Cleveland receivers can't really depend on them at all. Hollywood Brown is playing this week. He's scheduled to play. So he definitely is, has the opportunity to be a top end wide receiver 1 this week.
Hold on, my bad. So we going to never mind. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead. Finish.
From the tight end perspective, Austin, we know Mark Andrews is basically top 5 week in and week out consideration in most cases. Austin Hooper over the last 2 games has seen 12 targets, and since OBJ is gone, it's becoming more and more apparent that Baker, based on his performance, has needed Austin Hooper even more. And so I don't think he'll be a wide receiver 1, but he definitely is on a tier 2 range, but doesn't say a whole lot. So the last game of the week, Seattle Seahawks Washington football team. Over under 46.5.
We skipped the game.
Just the game right here, the game of the week.
No, I said we skipped the game, a very important game at that.
The Vikings 49ers?
Yeah, come on now.
Oh, okay. Let me see where I'm
So hold on. So when you asked me Murray or Freeman, what game were you talking about?
Lord have mercy. The Cleveland-Baltimore game.
Right, but when you said that's what I thought. When you said Murray, it took me to never mind. Let's move on. Okay.
All right, so we'll
I was going down the line, and I thought I could see where you were, and that's what threw me off.
Hold on a second. All right, let's do Washington football team and Seattle. Man, Russell, in the back of my mind, since I was thinking, I feel like I'm missing another top game, but I couldn't think of it.
Second game of the week.
Russell Wilson is he's been playing awful since coming back from his injury. Averaging 5.5 yards per pass attempt, no TDs and 2 interceptions, and taking 7 sacks. I think Washington defense might be a good play this week. From running backs, on anything to really write home about at this point in time. I think basically, man, it's a matter of whether or not Russell Wilson turns the corner this week and get back on stride with DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett, or if basically you just look at this game and say, okay, we'll try to pick between Lockett or Metcalf, who has a better performance. Lockett has 2 100-yard games in the past 3. 2 out of his past 3 have had at least 100 yards, but still hasn't scored a touchdown. Good grace, is that right? It says still, although he hasn't scored a touchdown since week 2. Good gracious. Metcalf has been limited over the last couple of weeks. He last 2 games, 7 for 57 on 16 targets. But the Washington football team's defense secondary may be an opportunity for him to get well or get back on track. Terry McLaurin, right now, I think he's pretty much matchup proof from the standpoint of being at least a wide receiver, low end wide receiver 1 territory. You got anything you want to add to that, Terrence, regarding
Gibson top 5?
Gibson
top 5. Mm-hmm.
Let's see. It says so he's definitely his usage has come up. It's in the 2 games he's carried 43 times for 159 yards rushing, 2 TDs, but only 2 catches for 14 yards. However, Seattle's defense gives up 23.8 fantasy points to running backs. So, yeah, top 5 is big. Hold on, let me see what his expected output
top 5
is.
This week.
And we'll do.
You got a lot of people in your top 5 this week.
I named 5. I got 5. The top 5.
Yeah. So right now, his expected output for half PPR is let's see.
Over that, whatever number you about to say.
Over. I double that. I'm over with that. Whatever you said, I'm over.
Redskins is hot right now, son. Tampa Bay.
11.8.
Ruin Cam comeback.
You know my answer for this game.
Look, that's why I ain't go to Jose. If Terrence talking top 5, then you got him in the top 2. So let's hear from somebody that's unbiased.
He going over 11.8.
You going over 11.8? All right.
Yeah, that's easy. That's an easy over right there.
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, man. So let's get to what should have been in game of the week consideration.
Yes. I need your opinion on this, Jose. I got a lot riding on this game right here.
Yeah,
I'm riding on it.
I'm here to oblige.
All right, man. Let's get into Minnesota versus San Francisco 49ers. So let's hear what's Terrence, what's your take? I see you sniffing something.
Man. Hey, Garoppolo going off this game. Going off this game.
Whoa.
They ain't even got him ranked in the top 12 this week.
I like Garoppolo
top 7.
I'm a pump the brakes a little bit on that. All right.
We got Ayuk going off. Debo.
I got them going off.
Maybe even the I forgot a daggone tight end name, but you know who he is.
Kittle.
Kittle. I really like San Fran to put up some numbers this week. And Garoppolo,
so
one of the top quarterbacks.
I didn't give the numbers early. San Fran is favored by 3. The over-under is 49 points for this game. So I take it you like the overturns. What about you, Jose?
It might not be it might just be a straight San Fran game, but
yeah, it's going to be a good game. So the positive on Garoppolo that all right. So this is the backstory. So they played each other already 3 times before this game, like years before, like last year, the year before that, right? Biggest problem with is Mike Zimmer knows how to play Garoppolo. Like he knows how to shut down that middle, which is Garoppolo's sweet spot. Which is going to help Garoppolo is they don't got their 2 top DNs. Their 2 top DNs are out. So he's like 80% having a field day, but he's going to have to throw on the outside of the game, outside the playbook, which is not his strong suit. But he can do a lot of screens.
Hold on, wait quick, back it up. So again, if y'all listen to Jose carefully, right, he gave himself an out again, yo. So if
I'm
picking
Garoppolo.
Then you could be like, yo, I told you that Zimmerman knew his strengths and weaknesses. But then if Garoppolo have a good day, he could be like, I told you that Garoppolo was going to throw to the outside because Zimmerman likes to take over the middle, yo.
No. What I'm saying is
I like that
a double play.
All right, listen.
Got double play
I'm gonna break it down. I'm gonna break it down to this, right? I try to give you both positions for you to make your own decision, right? I'm picking Garoppolo because of the simple fact there's no DNs.
That's what I want to hear. So
He has more.
Garoppolo has a big day.
Garoppolo has more time, but the thing is, what I look at is, okay, where's it going to come from? His points. Most of his points from this last 3 games are from the middle, going to Ayuk, slants, Ayuk, Debo, Kittle, all in the middle. What Zimmer's going to do is going to shut down that middle. But what San Fran has to do is get it on the outside, which is his hardest thing. But since he doesn't have good DNs, he has a little bit more time to hit those outside. Because I don't want somebody to come in like, yeah, I'm going to pick up Jimmy G, right? But don't know the fact that he's not going to throw too much on the inside. So you pick up Jimmy G and Ayuk and Debo. You got to figure out of those who's going to get it. It's probably going to be more Ayuk than Kittle, because Kittle does most of the deep balls. I mean, not deep balls, middle balls. Right. Debo does most of the middle balls. But what Debo does too, he has screens and running back. So the bigger play would be Debo and Ayuk than Kittle.
Got it.
Because Kittle works at middle most of the time.
Gotcha.
All right, cool. So I like
San Fran, baby. San Fran this week. Garoppolo.
Jimmy
G, get your money. Get your money.
All right, so let me ask you this, Terrence. To get into the whole DFS lineup play, who you stacking on with Garoppolo?
Both of them. I'm doing the whole thing. So I'm doing, like he said, I got some with Ayuk and Debo. I got some with Kittle and Debo, some Kittle and Ayuk. And then on the other side, I go back and I throw in either one Dalvin Cook, one Justin Jefferson, one Thielen.
No running back? No Elijah Mitchell?
Nah. Sorry, I can't. No, I think they're gonna attack him through the air. And Elijah, he questionable, right?
No, he's playing.
No, I think.
But this is what you gotta understand. Debo and Mitchell are gonna play running back. So they're a running team. They're a running team. They have to start off running to play.
Mitchell's expected to play. Just to play that out.
I know, and see, this is where your homerism come in. You really want Elijah Mitchell to do well.
No. I need the running game. I need the running game. I need the running game to do well so that Debo and Ayuk could play. Because they can't. If you just go straight passing out of San Fran, I'm telling you, that's not the biggest thing. That's not the best play. You need to run the ball to open up the pass. That's the Shanahan playbook. If you try to play,
I agree.
So you want the running game. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's Wilson, Debo. I need the running game to go because I got big money on this game.
Yeah. Yeah. Me too.
All right, man. So look, let's get into the DFS lineup. Who want to go first with their you got one? You got one, Gene?
Yeah, man. Well, yeah. I got my draft pick, so I'm rocking with that every time, yo. I ain't fighting with your people no more.
Right.
So I got Cam Newton at quarterback, Joe Mixon at the first running back, Nick Chubb at the second back. I got Odell because I figured he got something to prove. So
I like that.
I got
DK. I got Ayuk at the third receiver. I had to go cheap on tight end.
You got DK Metcalf in the Monday night game?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I got Ayuk as my third receiver. I had to go cheap on the tight end and flex. So with tight end, I went Jared Cook. Boom or bust. Might get a touchdown. So don't. And then I had to go with McKissick as my flex. And I got the Patriots defense, Joe, because like I said, Tannehill been kind of on a downside last couple of weeks, and Bill Belichick got that defense clicking. So
that's a Sunday Monday slate, right?
Yeah. Right. Oh, y'all don't know Sunday game?
Yeah, I need money Sunday night.
That's the big one, right?
Yeah. Huh? Yeah, Terrence said he needed his money Sunday night.
Monday, man. All right. So thinking about so go ahead, Terrence. Run yours off.
All right, so we going Garoppolo.
You going
Uh,
DraftKings or FanDuel?
I'm doing FanDuel.
All right. Go ahead.
Garoppolo, Mixon, Hilliard, Debo, and IU back to
Oh.
back.
Mm,
Debo and
mm.
IU. That's the
And
type
you
of
got
That, that,
Guap.
that's
So you
yeah.
saying you're
that's
gonna
Yeah,
have a big day.
that's
Garoppolo
saying
gonna
something.
have a big day, a big
I
day
do
versus
recall. I do
Minnesota.
recall, like in the beginning of the season, y'all was not high on San Fran.
I'm not how I'm saying Fran every week.
Right.
Last 2 weeks,
Right.
you were.
This week,
Right.
I
Hey,
am.
hey, Terrence, you say DFS is a week-to-week league.
Exactly. That's why I like it. And season long, I'm done. I'm finished. I'm cooked like that turkey. But in DFS, I'm still alive. I got Justin Jefferson. My tight end, I got Fryer Move. It's going to be another high scoring game. And also, Ebron is out. He on IR. So Fryer Move will get all them tight end touchdowns.
Mm, mm.
Still got money left to put Chase in my flex. Come on now. Come on now. And then I running the Eagles defense out there. But I don't know. That Jose got me scared of playing my Eagles defense. But I guess we're gonna have to see.
All right. So next up, Jose, would you going FanDuel or DraftKings?
DraftKings.
All right, go ahead, run it off.
All right, I went straight running back set on this one. I went Cam Newton, Christian McCaffrey, Jonathan Taylor, James Crowder, T.Y. Hilton, James Washington,
T.Y. Okay.
yeah, Jared Cook, Eckler, and Texans defense.
And Eckler. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. You went cheap at wide. Who's your wide
Wide
receivers?
receivers. I went cheap at wide receivers.
Got you. Okay.
But then I went heavy. I had two. I went the same type, but I changed up the running backs and receivers. I went heavy on receivers. I went Cam Newton, Henderson, Hilliard, OBJ, Crowder, Cup, Pitts, Gronkowski, and Patriots defense.
All right.
Okay.
So,
But those are just my sleeper ones. I ain't
right,
give you
so
my money one.
we supposed to be trying to give people money, give the people the money.
Well, that's what
You
Terrence
know,
does, right? Terrence been giving out the real good money ones.
I gave up a good one. That was that's my good one. But I run like
I
40
gave one
lineups.
with the cheap mindset of a higher like
all right, so this
higher
is what I got.
potentials.
Let me go. I'm gonna do a different one since we got representation for DraftKings and FanDuel. I'm going Yahoo. So I'm going Tyrod Taylor at my quarterback, Miles Gaskins, Austin Eckler, right? Curtis Samuel. I'm sorry, not Curtis Samuel. Sutton. Is who I got. Cortland Sutton. Devontae Adams, Cooper Kupp. So I got 1 and 2 in there. Adams and Kupp. Kyle Pitts at my tight end. Flex is Dalvin Cook. Defense is the Chargers. So Taylor, Gaskin, Eckler, Cortland Sutton, Adams, Kupp, Pitts, Cook, and the Los Angeles Chargers in my defense.
Mm-hmm.
They playing Denver.
Yeah, I gotta get some. I gotta get James Robinson in some of my lineups too. I'm trying to figure out how to do that.
All right, man. So we get out of here. Jose, give me 4 sleepers that you got.
4, Jose.
4 sleepers.
Put me on the spot. I got all right. Chenault, Hilliard, Westbrook. I mean, they ain't really sleepers at this point right now. It's like people who not really paying attention to players.
Hold on, Westbrook. Which Westbrook? Westbrook.
That from Tennessee.
From Tennessee. Icon. Westbrook Icon. Icon. I can't think of his name. Nick Westbrook Icon.
And then I'm always gonna keep saying this guy, DeAndre Carter.
Redskins receiver.
Yeah, he's got connection with Heineke, man.
Mm-hmm. No, he does. You're right. You called that one.
Yeah, so I mean, people have been he's still been available on different platforms. So, and he gives you return. He gives you return points too.
Wrap it up, Joe. Your wife. Hey, what you doing? 11:44.
No, I'm here.
He did no work.
I was
He got
letting
no work
Jose.
done.
I was letting Jose get
No
his
unboxing.
thing off.
No
He
painting.
did
No
no work.
unboxing.
She like, you
Look,
finished?
see,
He
this-
started.
hey,
This why I can't produce, right? I got the music. I'm trying to cue the music up, right? Y'all ain't let me live. I'm trying to cue the music. See that?
Go ahead.
I'm trying to get the
Jose
music
had
right.
one more nugget.
I
Go
do
ahead,
like
Jose.
I do like the just receivers, man. Elijah Moore and then Corey Davis, but he's out. But
Turns. We said 4 turns. We wasn't supposed to get no extra.
Jose couldn't help himself. He got
Man.
Jose got 15 sitting
I'm
there.
about to put the Dave Chappelle wrap it up.
He got a full clip
Hey,
waiting
man,
on
keep
him.
him coming, Jose. Keep him coming. Need those nuggets.
Keelan Cole Jr.
See,
I
there you go. Look at turns.
Oh,
No, we out of here.
Ty Johnson. I like Ty Johnson this week.
I got Ty Johnson in too.
Yep, I like Ty Johnson.
All right, man. I'm gonna holler at y'all, man. I got work to do.
All right.
All right, man. I'll holler at y'all,
All right, fellas.
All right, cool.